I'm very fortunate to join you all after such beautiful presentations, particularly from our young students. I'm absolutely enthralled by the subjects, and Noor, if it's any validation, I have had complexion shaming all my life and continue to do it. And they continue to do it even though I'm such a grown lady now. But I don't have any really specific charts and things. I'm going to speak from my heart. As a Bangladeshi mother, I think Linda has very nicely and adequately put together the four great pillars of successful and healthy relationships, and the building trust, and also how to talk to, the ways of talking and not talking. So going from there, I just want to put a few other ideas and put it in the context of the Bangladesh culture that I belong to. Having lived in having lived in this country for the last 49 years and have parented a daughter, I feel like we have seen the changes of the Bangladeshi culture and the special challenges that we feel amongst us, particularly in a sense of identity building, where the Bengali culture has sort of become a little less in the background, and our Muslim culture has become much more important to us. And in order to respect that, we sometimes find ourselves in a difficult situation between the progressiveness that probably is asked upon us as we raise our parents, as we raise our children, and that constant dilemma is obviously something that is hard to tackle in life. Also, the values that we have grown up with, the values that are present across cultures and across religions, and among most of us here at this place, are values of, we all want good for our children, the best for them. We want them to become their best selves. And we also value certain things that are probably creating a lot of burden on them. If we want to look at values such as truthfulness, sincerity, gratitude, charity, being kind, all these things that we want our kids to become, we have to try and be consistent in those values and be be the example that we want to tell them about those values. For example, we heard about the values of higher education in our country, and how we value professional education over any other kind of education, which in itself, we have been actually criticized as being the immigrant community that only want their children to become either doctors or engineers. And I think that we need to take a hard look at ourselves, that whether we want our child to grow on her own and spread her wings, or whether we want to make our child become something like where we have failed, or someone to fulfill all my dreams, or to put in the void of coming out of my frustrations. So again, these are certain of the things that I feel that we need to keep in mind, because parenting is really the hardest job that we will ever have in our lives, and it is also the longest job that we will ever have until we have our last breath. And in terms of two other things that I would like to talk about is that parenting is, I said that it was a continuous process, but I also think that it is a reciprocal process. I know we want to put all the responsibilities on the parents, but I would also like to put a little bit of responsibility on the children as well. If we want to have kind, sensitive human beings, compassionate human beings, then they need to start also showing the kindness and the compassion and the sensitivity to at home also. So, children in our culture are very smothered by the parents. That's my opinion. And we like to do everything for our children. They're studying now, so, let's just do everything for them. I don't think their study could take away anything that they can't lift their eyes up and smile at us and when we ask them a question. Or if they have, how many of us can really say that our kids have come back home and said, Mom, how was your day today? The same questions that Tazeen and others mentioned. So, the idea is that we have to build these things. Like I said, it is the hardest job that I can think of. And others have talked about the communication and the openness of communication that should exist between parents and children. But I think children too should be made to confront certain things as to whether they are really entitled to all the affections without the reciprocity that is involved in every relationship, because a relationship is a reciprocal business. And finally, I would like to say that every child has the right to grow up in a loving, caring, and peaceful atmosphere, free of anger, fear, and violence. And I think we as parents need to look at those issues in the house. Let us reflect on our own lives and our own homes. Is our home a beautiful and warm and safe place for my child to grow up in? Children understand much more of the discord in relationships than we tend to think that they do, no matter what age they are. And sometimes children also feel that they could be the cause of discord in the family. Sometimes they may wish that, oh, I wish I had another set of parents and not these particular ones. Sometimes they may even feel like running away from home or even taking their own life. So I think that let us try harder to build a respectful relationship among members of the family in which we live, so that is how, by example, we can teach our children to have a little less stress coming from our end. Thank you very much.